Are you watching? Are you paying attention? Are you listening in there? Loud and clear. I am broadcasting from my bed. I'm plugged in. I am plugged in. Let's talk for a second. You and I and you. Us, we. Human beings, let's talk for a second. Yeah, as you guys may or may not know, I had some issues with video recording the last couple of days. I've been sick and wasn't paying attention, and I was trying to record with no card, no tapes. Yeah, so we're having this conversation now. This is five, I believe, the number 5. I'm a few days behind, but we'll catch up. I'll do multiple videos during the day, and I'll make it happen. I'll make it work. This is a work in progress, people. Now, I've been doing some soul searching, trying to figure out what's going on with me. And I'm just wondering how much you really know about me. How much do you know? So, we're going to do this video because I want to get a little more intimate with you guys. I want you guys to appreciate my differences. I want you guys to understand my differences. I am 31 years old. I live in Virginia Beach, Virginia. I grew up in Suffolk, Virginia. Suffolk, S-U-F-F-O-L-K. There's not much there. It was a very interesting childhood. I grew up on a main highway and not in a neighborhood, so there was very few kids around. My exposure to media was cable television, and I went to a high school that was a predominantly urban school, so I had a huge culture clash because I started in middle school with a school full of kids who were into rock music and alternative, and ended up going to a high school that was mostly R&B, soul, hip-hop, and so my taste in music was, meshed together, you could say. My father and my mother divorced when I was 13. My father was a serious alcoholic and not only abused my mom, but he abused himself. Passed out on the floor, got in several car accidents, ruined a lot of things in his life because of his alcohol addiction. I learned from that, and I have vowed for my entire life to not become an alcoholic addict. So I drink occasionally, but I do not drink all the time, and it is a very important thing to me that I follow this in my life. I actually have no desire to drink all the time, so it's not that hard to stay away. I have one brother, and he is younger than me by about 5 years. We get along about as good as you can possibly get along with a brother. We don't always see eye to eye, but we are very similar in some of our tastes, and we can be very opposite in a lot of them, but we can get along with the same people. I have no sisters, but I have 2 female cousins, and one of them is a lesbian who is sometimes bisexual. Sometimes she's a lesbian, and sometimes she's bisexual, sometimes she's a lesbian. It just depends on what flavor she's looking for. My other cousin is from a different father, and she is very much straight-laced, and morally she is, I guess you could say she's pretty much just your regular Christian in her beliefs and her lifestyle. Now, I grew up with a very small family, and everyone still kind of lives close together, and it was on my mother's side. My father's side of the family was pretty much all alcoholics, and my grandparents on my father's side were murdered when I was like 2 years old. Their house was broken into, and they were shot point blank with a shotgun, and the man who went to court for it said that he wanted to see what it was like to kill people. So that's why he did it. He had no real reason. They didn't even really take anything from the house. They just broke in to kill my grandparents. Now, I didn't know them very well, but still to this day, it's one of those things where you think about it and you wonder, if it hadn't happened, where would you be now? My grandparents on my mother's side were very caring, very loving. My grandmother's still alive. My grandfather died about 7 or 8 years ago. He was the closest thing to a father that I had when I was growing up. And he's a great man, and I owe him everything for the kind of person I am, the giving person that I am, the caring person that I am. Those parts of me were things that he gave to me when I was younger, things that maybe I would have developed, but there were things that he showed me that make a person, gives you character, it gives you something. Your word is important, and I learned that from him, and I'm very thankful, to have him, to have been there for me. My mom, who was very loving and caring, she kind of let me make my own way, make my own path. She's remarried now with my stepdad from Texas, who has 3 children, who all still live in Texas. My mother, she's a little naive from time to time, but I love her. I wouldn't trade her for anything. I have 2 aunts, one of them, which the 2 cousins were born to. She is a little wild. And then I have my other older, more conservative aunt who has no children, and she is a hairdresser. I never really had anything given to me my entire life. I had to work for it. Everything that I have ever achieved in life has been something that I have put my heart into, that I put my soul into. Nothing was handed to me. I grew up with a father that left us, having a time when we were on welfare, a time when we had to struggle to make ends meet. And I made a promise to myself that I was going to do whatever it took to make sure that I was never in that situation. If I had to work, at McDonald's or, scrub bathrooms somewhere, I would never be without an income, and I would never put myself in that position again, even if it meant, sacrificing a career. And luckily for me, my career as a disc jockey has paid off and helped me to pursue other avenues of interest. So it's been a thing that I'm very grateful for. I started on YouTube doing videos for my friends at the club. I wasn't thinking that I was ever going to do videos here. I wasn't thinking that it was ever something I would get into. I was more into the text stuff like AOL and bulletin boards and message boards and things like that. But I came here and I started, and I kind of got addicted to making videos and interacting with people and learning about this new world, this new environment, and being able to broadcast myself to the world so other people out there may find something in me that they feel drawn to, and maybe something very similar in interest, so we can connect and talk and maybe one day meet in person or become friends through the internet. It's like a digital or virtual, pen pal type thing. It's absolutely stunning to me. I've been into comic books, and I went to New York for a year and spent a year working as an intern at a subsidiary for Marvel Comics, hoping that one day to get my foot in the door, only to find out that it was way too expensive to live in New York as a single person. Trying to go to school as well, it was just not going to happen, so I ended up coming back here and, making my way here. I don't know if I'm giving you guys everything. I don't know if I'm giving you 100%. I try to give as much as I can, but certain things you still don't want to open up about, certain things you don't want to talk about. Maybe by the end of this experiment, I'll open up and maybe I'll change my mind. You never know, but I wanted to make 5 something a little more intimate, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of, look inside my life. 6 will be up tomorrow.